Now, I've always been a big believer in that whatever gets measured gets managed. This works as well for health and fitness as it does for your time at work. So one of the products that's helping people be more efficient, more productive at work, and really trying to get the most out of their day is a Microsoft product called My Analytics. So essentially what My Analytics is doing is it's looking across your Outlook emails, the time that you spend in your calendar and planned and scheduled meetings. It's looking at when you're in meetings, whether you're actually emailing during those meetings or not. So therefore, are you having focused time? And it's also looking across things like Delve in terms of the types of documents that you're collaborating on and who you're collaborating on them with. So it actually gives you some pretty good insights that you can then make a plan around. For example, it'll tell you how much time you spent in meetings week to week. It'll tell you how much focus time, so how much time you've just scheduled where you've been working on a task by yourself. It'll tell you who are your top collaborators. So who are the people you spend the most time with in meetings and the most time collaborating on documents. Which is really useful from a networking perspective, but then we'll also perhaps try and suggest to you that, you, John, and Andy were all in a meeting, in 4 meetings together that week. Did all of you need to be there, or could one of you have gone and debriefed the other person? It'll tell you some pretty useful or insightful insights around how much time you're doing out of work hours as well. And then you can obviously manage that from a health and well-being perspective and make sure you're, maybe not doing as much time out of work if you don't need to. And, all of these things are sort of to help employees become more effective, more productive, improve their collaboration, their networking, and well-being as well. So there's some pretty useful information that it's serving up for you if you act on it. And we all spend a lot of time in meetings, and so sometimes those meetings aren't as productive as they could be. We tend to be locked into this mental model of having 60-minute meetings or 30-minute meetings. That tends to be the shortest that we have. But there are people out there who have less meeting time for that. So for example, people doing 7-minute meetings or 16-minute meetings. And, if we have more focused meeting time, does that mean we can actually have more done, or do we just then need more meeting time because we haven't had enough meetings in the first place? So just trying to challenge the mental model on that one. Another way to make meetings more effective is to make sure that when you go into the meeting, there is an agenda, and maybe even trying to tie it in to, we're having this meeting because it relates to this strategic initiative. And so that you're always relating what the meeting is about back to the strategy of the organisation. And if the meeting you're having is not driving towards a strategic initiative, maybe you should think about reprioritising that or even cancelling it altogether. Now, these digital tools, while they might make some people quite excited like me, like I really like kind of looking at those kind of insights and what's happening. For example, shopping online, I'm really keen for Countdown suggests to me what it thinks I might have forgotten, because normally I am doing a pretty regular list, and so there is a chance that I have forgotten the broccoli or I have forgotten the Weet-Bix or the milk, and yes, I would like to add that to my order at the end. But, there'll be other people who do see this as a privacy breach of sorts. Well, not a privacy breach, but a privacy concern, because it is definitely a new, very transparent way of working. And this is kind of what I like to talk about, because this is where we get into the digital behaviour stuff. So being more digital means we are more out there, more transparent, and less is kind of hidden. So, in organisations, we often have this thing around our our diaries, our work diaries, our Outlook, our whatever it is. And that's a personal place for you to do your work, and you won't share it with the organisation. I think otherwise. I think that diaries are actually, the organisation's information, and if it's, easier to make ourselves easier to deal with by having our diary open to a sort of limited amount so people can see where we are, well, that can be quite useful, because we can always put on the, the little lock and then the privacy button if there's sensitive meetings that are happening, or confidential ones, or personal ones that you don't want others to know about. So, yeah. More digital behaviours, more analytics, more information for us to run our lives by. And I think from an organizational perspective, it's really interesting to wonder who's communicating, when it's happening, and with who. We know that we need to be more collaborative in this day and age, less siloed. I think tools like this can really help us get there and help organizations get there. So yeah, looking to see how People Analytics by Microsoft evolves, and really keen to hear your thoughts too. However, how people have perhaps rolled this out successfully at work. Okay,